Welcome to the FOCUS Broadband High School Football Game of the Week. Dr. Mike Maurer, Jake Holmes, and yours truly, Sam Hickman, coming to you tonight from the campus of South Brunswick High School in Bowling Spring Lakes. The captains meeting on the Cougar head, the midfield logo for the opening coin toss. It looks like South Brunswick has won that opening coin toss, but before we get into that, let's introduce you to our team as the 3-2 Topsail Pirates, sitting at 2-1 in the MEC, take on the still winless South Brunswick Cougars at 0-5 overall and 0-2 in league play. Mr. Jake Holmes, welcome to the table.
Sam, great to be here. A beautiful Friday football night for sure. You mentioned the Pirates, and they played real well this season, as you mentioned, 3-2 coming in to tonight's contest, and off a big win last week at against North Brunswick, a 31-20 victory, a 24-0 lead for Topsail, and then they kind of withstood a pretty big comeback by North Brunswick and got out of there with a 31-20 victory. The Cougars, on the other hand, are still looking for victory number one on this season. 0-5, 2 conference losses. They only average 14 points a game, so moving the ball has been a real sore spot for them all year, and defending, particularly against the run. Topsail likes to run the football. South Brunswick doesn't necessarily do that well defending the run, so could be the opposites attracting here this evening. Could be a tough night for South, but you know, they got a kid that can throw the ball around. That's Jaden Daniels, and they got a bunch of capable receivers, 3 of them in double figures. Bennett Ballantyne, Cooper Creel, and Corbin Farron, as you see the Cougars take the field.
And for the first time this season on our FOCUS Broadband Game of the Week coverage, we've got Dr. Maurer in a hoodie at kickoff time. Dr. Mike, welcome to the broadcast.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's a crisp night tonight. Beautiful clear sky, waxing gibbous moon if you care.
Whoa!
Yeah, hopefully we see some crisp play from South. Like that you said, they haven't won a game yet, but we've seen them sustain some drives, play good defense. Hopefully tonight's the night.
Waxing gibbous, Jay-Bird.
The moon give us and the moon give us away? I mean, is that what's going on?
Further evidence that Dr. Maurer is much smarter than you and I.
That's why he's got that DR in front of his name.
Exactly, exactly. So, no waxing gibbous, but we do have South versus Topsail. South won the opening coin toss, has deferred to the second half. Topsail on the left side of your screen. They'll be moving left to right on your screen, rather, in the white jerseys, black breeches, and black helmets. South Brunswick in their customary home, Carolina blue breeches, Carolina blue tops, and, Jay, what are we going with, gray jerseys? Are those gray, grayish navy? I don't know exactly what to call it, but South Brunswick will kick off. Topsail will get the ball first, and we are almost underway. Your game of the week has begun. Low, short-ish kick, fielded cleanly by the Pirates. Got a little running room. Good return across the 35 to the 36, 37-yard line, where Topsail will start the night 1st and 10.
Yeah, talking about uniforms, Sam, the only thing I can see on South are those pink socks. They really stick out. And if we're talking about uniforms, the conference uniform of the year goes to Topsail. Man, that's an announcer's dream. Those white shirts with those big black numerals.
Jay,
sweet.
That's an announcer's dream. A coach's dream is this 77 playing right guard, Garrett Austin. Man, look. Oh, boy, ball's on the ground. It's picked up by South Brunswick. He's got running room. Makes a man miss. He's going to score. A botch, toss, sweep on 1st and 10 is recovered by Cooper Creel and returned 30 yards to pay dirt. What a start for the Cougs.
Well, that's why they play it on the field, Sam, because that darn ball goes lots of different ways that time into the hands of Cooper Creel, and Double C showed you what he can do when he gets the ball and puts South on top early.
Dr. Mike, in many years of doing these ball games, I've never seen one start quite like this.
And that's why you play the game, and that's why you play every down and every second of the game, right? Cut block, interesting call, like you said, big number 77 at the right guard position. Thought they would have ran it with an actual lead blocker, but cut blocks on the offensive line, which means the defensive line can get up quick, get a ball, and get a touchdown.
And sorry, Dr. Mike, I was distracting you. It was a very low ground ball snap. The holder went to put it on the tee, and it was actually a Topsail defender who ran up and smacked it loose. But you cannot return a point after tries in high school football. Jay, here's another look at the fumble return for a touchdown.
Yeah, he never really wrapped up the ball in the toss, and then it's Creel just showing some great balance and determination and making it into the end zone for the first score of the game.
Man, so Jay and then Mike, please jump in. What do? You had a hour-plus bus ride, and you're coming off a huge win over North Brunswick. If you're Topsail, and then that happens on the first snap, they got to be a little shell-shocked over there on that Pirate sideline, one would think.
You completely forget about it. You got plenty of game left, 6 points, whatever. Go score 2 touchdowns, and you're doing fine.
Corbin Farrow handling kickoff duties for South Brunswick.
A deeper kick this time, about 6 yards deeper than his initial kickoff. Return man still on his feet. Jay's got some running room around the left side, across the 35, across his own 40. Pushed out of bounds near midfield. Nice return by number 10, Demarion Smith. Jay, I remember when we talked about him last year as a sophomore, how many times we said, boy, this kid is going to be a player, and it turns out he has certainly become one for the Pirates.
Yeah, he's 205 yards on the ground thus far in 3 scores, and he's caught 7 passes for 110 yards and another 3 touchdowns. So Smith blossoming in his junior year of play for Jack Teachy's Topsail Pirates.
So Topsail going to try again. This time, quarterback's going to keep it. South Brunswick spills it out. It's going to be a big tackle for loss. Yeah. Number 37,
Who's that?
Jack Early, one of the area's leading tacklers, drops the quarterback for a 2-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 12 for the Pirates. And, man, you couldn't have scripted a better start defensively if you're Coach Yao and the Cougs.
Yeah, Jack Early, he's not only one of the best tacklers in the conference, he's the leading tackler with 82 total tackles coming into this evening's game.
Demarion Smith in motion for the Pirates. It's going to be a give up the middle. A lot of running room. But the ball carrier ruled down a yard shy of the line to gain. It was 11 yards on the carry. That was number 20, Matthew Hayes, just a junior, on that carry. So Topsail faces a 3rd and 1 from the 46-yard line of the Cougars. And now we're going to get a look at Eli Hebron in under center this time. False start, Jay Bird. Had a man move on the oh, I'm sorry, folks. It's going to be an encroachment penalty. South Brunswick lined up in the neutral zone. Dr. Mike, is number 77 there playing right guard. Mr. Garrett Austin is, well, he's a good-looking thing from up here in the press box. We don't have heights or weights, but, man, he stands out on that offensive line.
My guess, 6'5", 275, 280. Yeah, he's a stud. I want to see what they do. Every time I look, they're doing tight splits, and they haven't really been doing much with him yet.
Boy, Dr. Mike, look at this formation.
It's a little bit
this
of a
is
bunch.
only one offensive lineman to each side of the center.
Wow.
And a couple offensive linemen down to the bottom of the screen. So they just empty the big heavy defensive front out of there and keep it on the ground, and it worked well. Picked up 7 or 8 yards we'll call it 7, to set up a 2nd and 3 from the 34-yard line.
Yeah, that was Hayes again on that carry, Sam. He is the leading rusher for Topsail with 325 yards. He averages nearly 7 yards a carry and has scored 4 touchdowns.
Boy, anytime Smith comes in motion, you got to be on the lookout for it. If you are South Brunswick, open man down the seam, but over the head of the intended receiver. And Jay, that's something that 10 Smith can do. It's even if you're just using him in motion, kind of as window dressing. You've got, as a defense, you've got to account for where he is at all times. That time he was mostly a decoy. Had an open receiver, just couldn't quite connect.
And Topsail doesn't throw that much. Eli Hebron's our quarterback. He's only attempted 46 passes. He's completed 20 for 425 yards, but he's made those 20 count 5 TDs.
Oh, boy. Oh, Jay, I think South had him stopped initially, but he stretches good second effort by Hayes on the run, gets to the 31-yard line just enough for a Topsail first down. Jay, if you remember back a couple of months ago, former Wofford head coach, Wofford FCS program, longtime head coach Mike Ayers, he was Topsail head coach Jack Teachy was on Coach Ayers' staff at Wofford. Coach Ayers said that day at the media day luncheon, he would put Jack Teachy in the mix as Hayes carries it around the right side before he's dropped at the 24 after a gain of 7. Mike Ayers said Jack Teachy is one of the best defensive line coaches in the country. He would put him among the best D-line coaches in the country. Not high school, not college, not NFL. Boy, Topsail's going fast. That's Hebron. He's got enough for the first down yardage and then some. But I thought that was really high praise from a guy who won 400 college football games, and Mike Ayers.
You can say that again. And what a talker is Mike Ayers. He put on a show that
You ever
day.
wrestled a bear?
Yeah.
Remember that?
He
Remember that
did.
speech?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. J.P. Price, the white boy head coach, was up there demonstrating, what it might be like to wrestle one. So, Topsail first and 10 at the 18-yard line. Hebron's going to keep it. Little RPO out to the left. There's Smith, folks. He's real dangerous with the ball in his hands. He picks up about 9 yards there. Topsail's inside the 10-yard line. Jay, I know it's early, a lot of game left. This has been an impressive response from Topsail after the disaster on their first play from scrimmage.
For sure. I mean, they, as Mike said on the sidelines, you just got to forget that one, put it behind you, and it looks like that's exactly what Topsail has done on this drive.
Give up the middle. Ball carrier still on his feet, brought down at the 2-yard line, but not before the Pirates pick up a first down. And, Jay, I think it's important. We've seen North Brunswick a couple times. Topsail beat them by 11. This is a good Topsail football team.
It's a real good Topsail football team, and you're seeing what they do best right here is run the football.
Oh, the running back went to dive over the pile, but he came up about a yard shy, so a gain of 1. Jay, I think that was 23 on the carry, Landon Cook, who was stopped shy of the goal line.
And he's their third of their top 3 rushers is Landon Cook, 5.6 yards per carry, 279 yards on the
second and goal from the 1. And Topsail stopped shy again of the line again. So the South Brunswick defense bowing its neck here with its heels up against its own goal line. And, Jay, we got nope, thought a player was down, but just the mesh screen in front of me blocking my view. But it's third and goal from the 1-yard line. South Brunswick crowd trying to make some noise.
A lot of players right at the line of scrimmage.
This time they roll Hebron out to the right. Touchdown, Hebron to Demarion Smith. And Topsail ties the game at 6 with 6:53 left in the first quarter. The touchdown pass from Hebron to Smith ties it up. And, boy, that's a great play call there, Mike. I don't know if a lot of people in the stadium expected that one.
I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I figured that was coming just the way they've been setting up under center. Tight splits, just trying to go right off the right guard's hip. 2 in a row, they almost did it at the 50. I kind of figured a play action was coming. I love that they're going under center for those. You don't see that a lot anymore.
Talon Robinson, 15 for 15, point after.
Oh, announcer jinx? Not quite. The extra point is up. The extra point is good. And Topsail has taken a 1-point lead, 7-6, 6:53 left in the first quarter. And Jay, do we have Topsail recent? What's Topsail's season outlook been so far? I know they played Terry Sanford and Dixon in the non-conference at Swansboro.
Yeah, they
had a win over West Brunswick, I know, and North.
Wins over Dixon, West, and North Brunswick. Losses to New Hanover and Terry Sanford. They average 31 points a game, and they give up 22.6 points per contest. And they're led, principally, they like to run the football, as you've seen so far this evening, with Hayes, Cook, and Demarion Smith. Hebron is the quarterback, hands off more than he throws, but as you saw on that particular play, he can be very accurate with his throwing. And receiving, Demarion Smith and Cameron Kohler lead the way with 8 and 5 catches, respectfully. Big guy on defense is number 33, Evan Batts, from his linebacker position, 59 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss, and 2 sacks.
No idea, Jay, if he's any relation whatsoever, but there's been a long line of good high school athletes with the last name Batts at Topsail High School. Is that Xavier Reynolds on the return there, number 3?
That is the X-Man.
Pretty good return across the 30. And hard to believe, guys, but this will be our first look at the South Brunswick offense. They had a defensive touchdown with Cooper Creel's fumble return and then a pretty long Topsail drive that took up about 5 minutes of game clock. So, Jay, this will be our first look at Jaden Daniels and the South Brunswick O.
750 yards through the air for Daniels. The key for South and Daniels is protection up front.
Bennett Ballantyne in motion. Comes to the running back there, number 2, Isaiah Williams, who was dropped around the line of scrimmage. No gain officially on the play, so it'll be a 2nd and 10 from the South Brunswick 34-yard line.
Yeah, South has only run for 220 yards total coming into this, their 6th game of the season. So quite an emphasis on throwing the football, and they've enjoyed some success with that. Daniels has got a strong arm, just a junior. 7 touchdowns through the air, 3 interceptions.
Topsail shift right before the ball was snapped. May have thrown off the timing a little bit of the South Brunswick offensive lineman at least, but the pass out to the right falls to the turf incomplete and sets up a 3rd and 10 from the 34-yard line.
Yeah, he was looking for Fletcher Lanier that time, a senior wide receiver. A couple of catches before this evening's game for 21 yards, but Isaiah Williams, 8 catches.
They flare out Isaiah Williams to the right, and the pass falls incomplete, and that will bring on the South Brunswick punt team with a 4th and 10 and its own 34.
Yeah, that's too bad for South that time, because it looked like Williams had some room to roam if he had been able to come up with that pass. The punter for South Brunswick is, I think it's Brennan Kelly, number 55, a lineman who you don't always see punt, but punts pretty well. Pretty high on that one.
High, short toward the South Brunswick sideline, takes a fortuitous South Brunswick bounce and bounces out at the 40-yard line. So officially a 26-yard punt. Jay, we do have a flag over on the far side of the field, not far from midfield. So we'll see if we can get this one sorted out between the officials and find out what the call was on the field. It's going to be a hold against the return team Topsail, so that'll be 10 yards from the spot where the ball went out of bounds. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Topsail offense at its own 30-yard line.
That turned into a pretty good net punt, didn't it?
36 yards. You take it in high school football every time, I believe.
And Kelly averages 38.8, so with the help of the 10-yard penalty, he's right around his average.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Topsail at their own 30.
I think Eli might have got a little tricky that
I
time.
think that one's going to be against the Cougars.
They'll get 5 of those yards back, right?
I'm going to go ahead and call Topsail, use a rugby term called cheeky. Just between some of the things they've done so far, they're acting a little cheeky, which I like.
First and 5 for the Pirates at their own 35-yard line. Topsail leads 7-6, 5:46 left in the first quarter. Hebron fakes the pitch, keeps it, and is brought down after a gain of about 9 yards out to the 44-yard line, where it will be a Topsail first down.
You know, the numbers with Hebron don't jump off at you, Sam, but I just get the sense that this kid, his football IQ is pretty high.
Yeah, Jay, I think he's an elite game manager.
Yeah.
You know, which is, I think, probably what Coach Teachy's looking for.
Yeah.
You know, he's just in control
Yeah,
of this offense.
Exactly. Minimize turnovers, make the right decisions, take what you can get, not what you really think you have.
Lofts a pass down the sideline, out of bounds near the old video board down there that South Brunswick has on its sideline. And, Jay, there's an example of that right there. You know, you take a shot on first down. It's not there, so instead of forcing a pass down the field, you throw it out of bounds and live to fight another day. Wyatt Cluis.
That's pretty good pass coverage that time. There were 2 defenders. Cluis was one. And Cluis is just a freshman.
Yeah, a really good baseball player, too.
Yeah, I
I
remember
hear.
you telling me, yeah. Well, he may be at the right place.
Boy, freshman free safety. Whew, that's tough gig.
And the backup quarterback. Wow.
Up near midfield.
Boy,
That
there was
time-
some bopping going on between Ethan Adams and Mr. Garrett Austin, wasn't there?
That's probably a nice matchup, you know.
3rd and 5.
5 yards on the run sets up a 3rd and 5 from the Topsail 49-yard line. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the opening frame. Topsail leading 7-6 here on your FOCUS Broadband Game of the Week. Hebron rolls out to his right. Got a man wide open along the South Brunswick sideline. That pass is caught by number 13, Nick Cross, the senior receiver, from 51 yards out. Hebron to Cross. 4:22 left in the opening quarter, and Topsail takes a 13-6 lead. And Jay, for a team that doesn't throw the ball often, Hebron has 2 touchdown passes in the first quarter tonight.
He's very judicious with his throws, but very, very efficient. Came in here this evening with 20 completions, but 5 of them were for touchdowns. Now 22 and 7, so those are some pretty good numbers.
So 1 of every 3 passes he completes are touchdowns.
Or touchdowns, yeah.
Not a bad ratio, folks. Topsail has not missed an extra point this season, and the streak continues as that kick almost hits the Mose Lewis Athletic Fieldhouse. And Jay, check out this touchdown pass from Hebron to Cross.
Topsail takes an 8-point lead with 4:22 left in the first quarter.
Here it comes.
Well, he rolls right to get out of pressure, and then I think there's just a mix-up in the secondary of South Brunswick because Cross just came wide open. I mean, Eli would have had to really try not to get the ball to him on that particular play. What do you think, Mike?
So far, I think this is the first time I've seen Topsail this year because I didn't get to be at the bash at the beach. They are playing very disciplined, and I think you can just tell that it's a testament to their coach. No missed assignments, clean on defense, clean on offense. They're creating holes. They're running through the holes. They're not dancing around. Backs are blocking lead rushers. It's very disciplined. Very good.
More high praise for Topsail head coach Jack Teachy.
Good kick.
Oh, and then it caroms off the return man.
Did it get out of bounds?
Bounces out of bounds. So South Brunswick will have not excellent starting field position here at its own 10-yard line to begin this drive.
That's about as good a way to describe that. Where the ball is now for the Cougs, not excellent.
Hoggard leading Ashley 7-0.
Might be a little. That's an interesting game. You know, Ashley sneaky good this year, and of course Hoggard is Hoggard. So
Ashley beat New Hanover a week ago, 23-17. Beat New Hanover for the first time in program history, Jay, last year, and just beat them for the second year in a row last week, 23-17. So Ashley has lost one league game playing Hoggard, who's undefeated in the league. Jay, many are calling this the biggest game in Ashley school history. They're 5-1 overall.
Tell you what, took Coach Lombardi a year or so to get things kind of turned around, and he has been really good last year and continuing on this year. Got a really tremendous player in Brewington, leading the area in rushing with 738 yards, and he scored 56 points.
Boy, running back still on his feet somehow. That's number 9, Quinn Williams, but he could not escape the grasp of the Topsail defender. It'll be a loss of about 3 yards and set up 3rd and 15 from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, I mentioned before they being South has only accumulated 220 yards rushing as a team, and I think Williams may be their leading rusher with 41 of them. But he does have 4 touchdowns on this season. So there you go.
South going to get 5 of those yards back, partner.
I just got a really, of course you folks at home can't see this, but I got this really odd look from my partner. And I thought for a moment he like was choking on his double bubble gum. I mean, he's 35 years old.
Did you say their leading rusher has 41 rushing yards?
You were just amazed, weren't you?
Flabbergasted.
I'm amazed at double bubble, so, you know.
South Brunswick concession stand always hitting on all cylinders. Daniels rolls out to his left. Jay, he escaped the grasp.
He's a pretty good-sized guy.
Yeah, he made a good run for it. Got about 5 or 6 yards before he was dropped around the 15. So good run, but not quite enough for the first down yardage, and that will bring on Mr. Brennan Kelly and the South Brunswick punting unit.
Sam, here's one of our best conference name on that tackle that time for Topsail. Number 45, junior Landon Lash.
Oh, yeah.
He lashed him, didn't he?
That was a lash. Good snap. Good boot this time by Mr. Kelly. Fielded cleanly by Cameron Kohler at the 48-yard line. Jay, that one was about a 28-yard punt.
Lash 43 tackles, 2.5 for loss.
Jay, check this out.
I'm checking.
Brennan Kelly after he punts, takes his cleat off, throws it to the sideline. They throw him his other regular cleat for when he plays defensive line.
How about that?
How about that?
That is pretty darn cool. We'll have to get an instant replay of that sometime.
Man, I want to find out who
How
was,
to drive Nathan crazy.
I want to find out who was on the cleat toss from the sideline.
Cleat
It was
toss,
just
yeah.
about perfect.
We got to watch that timeout for South, I think.
Dr. Mike, you might remember these, but when my brother was a kicker, high school football, mid to late 90s, and he wore the kicking shoe that had the block on the end, the straight block. So, you know, it was a straight toe kicker.
Yeah, I thought they got rid of those in like 1968.
No, I know they were worn as recently as 99.
I don't believe that. Toe poking has been out of the game for a long time, I think.
I saw it with my own eyes. Now, maybe he was the only kid in the world still using it.
Did he steal it from the historical society?
Yeah, they robbed a local museum.
So my junior and senior year, I place kicked, but it was dead on straight like that. But I didn't have
No
a square-toed shoe. No, we couldn't afford it. You know.
So you were the quarterback and kicker.
At times, yeah.
Punter too, or no?
No, they wouldn't let me do that for good reasons. Couldn't punt.
Tall sweep around the right. Boy, big hit. I hope I get a number 34. Nate Early. Now, it was a good run, good play by Topsail. But number 14, Josiah Sidbury, took a big hit at the end of it from Mr. Nate Early.
Yeah, Nate, of course, is Jack's brother, and he's doing pretty good himself. Nate, a sack, 39 tackles, and a couple for loss this year, and he's a junior.
Hebron keeps it around the left side, fighting for more yardage. He's inside the 35 to the 32-yard line. Gain of about 7 or 8 yards and a Topsail first down. Mike, are you getting the sense that Topsail is kind of having its way offensively right now?
I wouldn't call it having its way, but again, they're playing very disciplined, and if you do that and you hit your assignments, and then it's just play versus play, right? So, yeah, I mean, they're creating gaps. If he would have read that just a half-second sooner, he had a massive hole right off 77.
He keeps that one around the right side, looking for some running room, and wrestled out of bounds by number 20, Terrapin.
There he is.
Channeman.
Yeah.
As a Maryland guy, I know why Jay likes his first name. Sounds a lot like Terrapin.
It does, and he's one of those, conference all-conference name team for us here on Focus. But Channeman is a senior defensive back, 23 tackles from that secondary position and 1 tackle for a loss. So Terrapin's done pretty darn good for the Cougs.
Topsail going to put it in the air on second down. He's got a man deep, and it falls incomplete. But I believe Isaiah Williams got to the receiver a little bit before the ball did. So it'll be a pass interference penalty on the defense and a Topsail first down. And with that penalty, we will have another play here in the first quarter as the game clock is stopped at 10 seconds.
You know, maybe except for the pass interference call, that would have been the 3rd touchdown pass of the game for
of the
Hebron.
First quarter.
Yeah, of the first quarter. So they're going to walk off that penalty now.
Walking off the pass interference penalty.
And the referee will stop at the 14-yard line, where Topsail will have a 1st and 10.
At the 14, this should be the last play of the quarter, most likely. Don't quote me on that.
A run around the left side. Ball carrier stopped at the 7-yard line. And Mr. Gary Cavender, the PA announcer at South Brunswick, was right. It was the final play of the first quarter. Topsail on the move again inside the 10-yard line of South Brunswick, and the Pirates clinging to a 14-6 lead over South Brunswick on your FOCUS Broadband Game of the Week. And we're back. Start of the second quarter. Topsail has a 2nd and 3 from the 7-yard line. Topsail trying to extend that 8-point lead. Hebron pitches it out to the right side. It's going to be a first down. And then some. Topsail will have a 1st and goal from the, call it, 2-yard line.
The 1st and goal from the 2 for the Pirates.
And Topsail getting right back over the ball, Sam. They are so bunched up in the middle.
Naked boot. Got a man, and it is a touchdown. Nice throw from Hebron to number 3, Cameron Kohler. And Topsail has responded with 20 unanswered points after South opened the game with a fumble recovery return for a touchdown. And it is a 20-6 Pirate lead. And, Jay, that is the 3rd touchdown pass of the night for Hebron.
That's amazing. And for a team, again, they run the football, but they obviously – very opportunistic with their throwing, and Eli Hebron's done a terrific job here this evening. 3 touchdown passes in essentially 1 quarter.
Extra point attempt is up. It is good, and it's a 21-6 lead with 11:39 left in the first half. Ashley and Hoggard tied up at 7 early in the second quarter.
Holy cow. Is that one at Ashley or at Hoggard?
It is at Ashley.
Okay. I bet that place is jumping and carrying on tonight. I don't think, have we ever done a game at Ashley? I want to say we did.
Yes, it was the COVID season.
COVID season?
Monzel's lone year at West Brunswick in the spring. It was raining.
It was a spring game. That's right.
Did we do that game like sitting in the bleachers? I think we did it sitting in the top row of the bleachers.
We very well may have.
Can we appreciate how weird that season was?
Yeah.
Spring. I remember calling the playoff game spring football.
Yeah.
It was odd. And Jay, remember that was back at the time where Patrick Vereen started at quarterback for West Brunswick. Eventually, Monzel Campbell, won the job and stayed there. But odd night. Oh, look at that kick.
Wow. Oh, my soul.
Oh, Jay.
Did Topsail
That's going
end
to be
up?
A touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
It's a
That's
free
gonna be a
ball.
touchdown.
That's a touchdown. Unless he was out of bounds when the Topsail player hit him.
They're talking.
That's
may have
got to
gone
be
out of-
6, unless he touched it when he was out of bounds.
I'm standing right here. My first reaction is touchdown.
Well.
Oh, it's called a touchback.
All right. Here we go. This is why it was probably a touchback. I think the South's player's foot was in the end zone, maybe. And then he got hit and the ball went. I don't know, man. I thought it was a touchdown.
No, I see what you're saying.
Well, because
the
the out of bounds rule is if you have a foot out of bounds and you catch the ball is technically out of bounds then.
Remember where Randall Cobb used to do it for the Packers?
Yeah, he had that famous play where he laid
Yes.
down. Honestly, that's kind of a rugby thing because you can jump from out of bounds if the ball's in the air and get the ball back into bounds. Nobody ever does it, but you can.
Well, either way, the Cougars catch a
talk
break,
about
right?
Dodging a bullet.
Yeah, which they absolutely need. They got to try to figure out something offensively to not fall any further behind.
Maybe the ball hit the pylon.
South going to fire it to Cooper Krill on first down, and Jay easily the most successful first down play of the night for South Brunswick. That pass good for 8 yards. And Jay, the referee on the South Brunswick sideline, is one of our referees every Saturday morning for our youth football games.
doing double duty, huh?
And so last Friday night, he was at North Duplin, which is about 2.5 hours away,
Wow.
back to Brunswick County for a 9 a.m. kickoff at Town Creek Park.
That's dedication,
And
man.
I said, man, you are putting some miles on that car, aren't you? Pretty decent little gain on second down. First down for South Brunswick. Jay, if I'm not mistaken, the first down of the night for the Cougars.
Yeah, pretty decent shot that time from number 33. That's Batts again.
Well, he's a player, isn't he?
Yeah. The leading tackler for the Topsail Pirates.
Dr. Mike, you know those long, look like pieces of tape along the back of the arms of the players? What does that do? Do you know?
It prevents like road rash on your elbows, like if you're going down to the ground on the turf particularly.
I see. That Pharaoh on the catch? Pharaoh, no, yes. Oh, baby, let my people go. Is that, I hope I got his name right. It is
Yeah,
Pharaoh.
you got the guy wrong. Moses said that to the Pharaoh.
We used to sing a song in church when I was little. It's
Yeah.
Pharaoh, Pharaoh. Oh, baby, let my people go.
Well, I guess because it rhymes.
Yeah, right.
The
Who knows?
Accuracy, I'm not sure, but it rhymes, right? So. Anyway, nice play by South that time.
6 yards on first down. South staying ahead of the chains. There's another
you go.
good run by the Cougars. Get a little bit of a surge and get another first down. So 9.5 minutes left before halftime, and the South Brunswick offense on the move. You know, they keep throwing that little screen out toward the sideline on first down. I believe they'll fake that here eventually and send somebody down on a wheel route, see if they can catch the Topsail defense being aggressive coming up trying to stop that screen.
That was Quinn Williams on that run that time, and he is their leading rusher. So, and he's demonstrated a little bit of his athletic ability and his toughness on that run. And yeah, Sam, I think you set it up perfectly. Williams again, twisting, spinning.
Nice play by 44, because I think South had a play there, had not, if not for the effort of Walter Moore.
Yeah.
Jay, Walter Moore played a lot of offense the last year for Topsail, and he's a fun player, kind of a throwback, H-back, fullback type. Nice player.
Tell you what he is. He's a pretty darn effective defensive player. 46 total tackles, 6.5 for loss, and half a sack somewhere in there. So yeah, Walt Moore doing his thing for the Pirates.
Oh, there's Batts
Step
rushing
up.
around the edge. Daniels
He can
just
throw
throws
it.
a
He can
jump
throw
ball
it.
down the field. It's caught. Cooper Creel. Touchdown! Boy, how quickly the game can change.
There you
A
go.
58-yard touchdown strike from Jaden Daniels to Cooper Creel. So, Jay, how about this night for Creel? He's got a touchdown on defense. He's got a touchdown on offense. 21-12, Topsail lead, but what a throw by Daniels and what a catch by Creel.
That's a great, great play and great concentration by Creel that time, because he was heavily defended. I think the Topsail defensive person that time just didn't locate the ball, but Cooper Creel did and brought it in and scampered to score.
South Brunswick going to go for two, try to make it a 7-point game. Got a man in motion. Daniels fakes the handoff. He's just going to roll out to his right and run for it, and I believe he's in. Daniels pulls his way into the end zone for a successful 2-point conversion, and just like that, we got a 21-14 game in Bowling Spring Lakes. Mike, how about that response by the Cougars?
Yeah, I mean, it's what you would want given the situation, right? So they've been stopped a couple of times on their offensive drives. That one they sustained early with the run, and then it opens up the pass. Exactly what you want.
Jay,
Wait a minute. What are we hearing?
That was the Michigan fight song we heard before this.
We got it. We got
Hail to the victors.
a hail to this victor right here. Daniels gets outside.
What a throw on the run.
He's got a strong arm, lofts it up, and like I said, the defender for Topsail just lost track of the ball. But Luckily and fortunately for South Brunswick, Creel did not. Cooper Creel, that's a great name too. So makes this whole thing look a lot different. 21-14. Old Mo maybe shifted back a little bit towards South Brunswick. That was Michigan's song? Is that what you told me? Was it?
Not the da na 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 na, but the.
That's what the Terrapins do. Oh yeah, that one.
There's Smith around the right side. He's still on his feet, looking for more running room toward the 40-yard line. Pushed out of bounds shy at around the 37, and with 8:05 left before halftime. Got a ball game, folks. Topsail 21, South Brunswick 14. Have not had to search hard for points in this one. We're on about a 60 to 50 pace here. Not even midway through the second quarter, and it's 21-14.
You know,
good one brewing in Wilmington, 7-7. Ashley and Hoggard, and a battle for first place. If Topsail could win this one tonight, and Ashley wins, we'd have a three-way tie for first place. Could be a four-way if Laney beats West Brunswick as well.
Oh. Well, we still got players falling down. that was Williams.
Oh, Hoggard just took the lead, 14-7. I'm sorry, partner, you were about to say
No,
something.
I was just saying the number of, you score a touchdown and climb back into it, and all of a sudden your defense finds another gear.
Amazing. You said this, Jay, earlier tonight. It's an emotional game.
It
and
is.
You ride those waves, don't
Sure
you?
do, yeah.
To give up the middle.
Handoff up the middle.
Picks up 10 yards and a Topsail first down.
10 yards, so it looks like, and it is a first down for Topsail.
Yeah, you're
on the 48-yard line of the Cougars.
it is such an emotional game, and you score a big play like that, and you come out on defense in this situation, and you feel like you can tackle anybody, right? Topsail might view that a little bit different as they pick up a first down.
Hebron pitch out to the left. This is dangerous for South, but did a good job.
Yeah, that's a really good job. I think it may have been early.
15 more yards for Topsail there.
And that was Smith, right? Yeah, so that kid, he's a threat from anywhere. Quick, got the ability to change direction, and of course, he can run away from you too. Not real big, but if you're not big, you better be fast, and I think D. Smith is.
Dr. Mike, did you see what the personal foul penalty was for?
It was a late hit on the quarterback after he pitched the ball.
Aha.
I'm not sure Coach Yao agrees, but he's halfway out on the field getting an explanation from the
I mean, you're taught to hit the pitch guy, but it's got to be, like right after he's let it go or as he's letting it go. Can't be a couple seconds late. Smith in motion. Topsail around the left side. Good gain. Hayes just fighting for tough yardage on the ground tonight. Forced out of bounds at the 22-yard line after a gain of 8 yards.
Was that Landon Cook that time? I think 23.
Oh,
or was it Hayes?
Cook. It was Cook.
It was Cook. Either
Sorry,
way,
Mark.
as a fine run. Didn't have much help on that one.
Hebron around the right side. Early got him. Early on that play.
It's getting late early, right, or something, whatever Yogi said. Hey, listen, that time.
It's Yogi Bear, right? Not Yogi Hickory.
Yeah, a little dangerous on the part of Hebron. One hand on that ball, and Jack Early throwing you around like a rag doll. Good effort by Eli to hang on.
6 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first half. Topsail 21, South Brunswick 14. Topsail threatening again. 3rd and 1 just outside of the red zone of the Cougars. That's Cook in the backfield with Hebron. Smith in motion behind the formation. Tall sweep to Smith. Cuts it back inside, but he's slowed down for a loss of yardage. Terrapin. Chenaman with the no. That was 28. Gregor Brock. Gregor Brock. That 8 looked like a 0 for a minute. Sorry, Mr. Gregor Brock.
Yeah, imagine what it looked like to the Topsail ball carrier.
Jay, here's a combo you don't hear often. Gregor Brock, an excellent high school golfer.
No.
Excellent.
Really?
Very good. Shoots in the 70s consistently.
I hate him.
Yeah, what I would give for those golf skills. Topsail keeps it on the ground and has got the first down yardage.
That's
and
sweet.
Boy, I tell you, Mike, that's what you want your running back to do on short yardage situations. You talk about going north to south hard. Cook got that handoff and was through that line like a shot out of a cannon.
That's what you always want to see. Unless you're Le'Veon Bell, he's like the only one. Him and Barry Sanders maybe could dance around a little bit and then hit the hole. You want to hit that hole fast because they close quick.
Man, that was an impressive short yardage run. Hebron looking for his 4th touchdown strike of the night. He's got a man. Touchdown, Topsail. Eli Hebron to number 80, Jackson Reeves, the junior tight end, hauls it in. So a 15-yard touchdown pitch and catch from Hebron to Reeves, and just like that, Topsail back ahead 27-14. Still 5 minutes left before halftime.
Holy cow, 4th touchdown pass of the game for Hebron. And he had to work that time. He had to escape and get outside the pressure so he could identify Reeves.
Kick is up, kick is good, and it's 28-14 Topsail. 5 minutes left before halftime. Jay Bird, you want to take us through this replay?
Well, Hebron's looking right, feels the pressure, escapes left, and again, maybe another breakdown defensively for South because Reeves was all by his lonesome, just running around in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, my guess on that play was they saw him in the pocket, kind of getting swarmed. He rolled out. It looked like he was probably going to tuck it and run, and they probably just came up, let the guy sneak out behind him.
I think there was a little sneaky stuff going on that one, Mike. I believe you.
Cheeky?
Yeah, cheeky.
We'll call it that.
See, cheeky is what, like, English people say, and
it's commonly used on golf broadcasts.
It is?
Like,
Yeah,
it's like a cheeky shot there.
Overseas, there's another word added to it. We're not going to say that in America.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's like, you know, like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it other than
Like
cheeky.
it's like clever
Yeah.
slash sneaky.
Oh, yeah. So
go.
my wife is originally from Australia, and she has all these little words they use there, cheeky being one of them. So I'm quite familiar with cheeky.
Miss Daris is from Australia?
Yeah.
No.
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
She was born in Perth, Australia. One of the probably 10 most beautiful places in the world.
And the birthplace of one of the 10 most beautiful women
Aww.
in the world. Miss
Yeah.
Daris, I hope you're watching.
I think so,
Send
too.
cookies.
Yeah. He's always begging. Send cookies.
So 1st and 10 for South at its own 20. It'll be 1st and 5 for South at its own 25 after that offside penalty against Topsail. You know, Dr. Mike, I'm going to propose a high school football rule change. You should be allowed to jump back onside and the play resume in high school football like you can in the NFL and college.
They've kind of gotten rid of it in the NFL too. It used to be like as long as you didn't touch anybody, you could get back. And,
Right.
I agree with that. As long as you're not offsides at the start of the play,
Right.
or as long as you don't make somebody else jump because you were offsides, I think you should have total freedom to get back.
For the record, I really like that play call, 1st and 5. Just a safe quarterback draw. You got a big quarterback. He kind of falls forward for 3 yards, and now you're in a you know, the situations you want to be in, a second and short.
And it was a sophomore lineman for South Brunswick that time, number 65, Daniel Crossman, who was helping to open up the lane for Daniels.
Oh,
Not that
there was
time.
no lane being opened up on that run. Williams stood up a yard behind the line of scrimmage to force South into a 3rd and 3 situation.
A proverbial host of Pirate defenders on that play. Number 8, Ryder Wilcox, who is their second leading tackler. 41 tackles, 10 of them for a loss, 3.5 sacks. He can pressure.
Daniels looking for some running room. Finds a man in the middle of the field. He's got Farrow. Farrow fighting for yardage, still on his feet. Finally brought down at midfield. A gain of 22 yards and a South Brunswick first down.
Tell you what, Daniels, for a big guy, he moves around pretty well and doesn't seem to get too keeps his composure while he's under pressure out there. And in this case, it paid off with the completed pass.
I wish you could have seen his daddy play football at West Brunswick in the 90s.
He could do it. Huh?
Daughtry.
He could do it.
DD man.
Yikes.
Running back and defensive lineman and could move. Boy, oh boy, it was some kind of player. Oh, stood up by big number 45, Landon Lash.
Hey,
Chemistry.
that was almost like
Chemistry.
Nathan's dad that does those
Duluth.
Duluth.
Duluth man.
Landon Lash.
Landon.
Landon Lash.
Lucky
Lash.
State championship softball team.
Landon lashes out at the opposing running backs. Jay, this drive is just chewing up some time off the game clock. We're already at 2.5 minutes left before halftime. 2nd and 10 for South Brunswick at midfield. Daniels drops back to pass again. Got a man in the middle of the field, but could not quite connect with another great name, Bennett Ballantyne.
Yeah. Now, he is the leading receiver for South Brunswick High School. 15 catches, 165 yards a score. But, yeah, Bennett's had a real fine senior season for South Brunswick. And that pass just a little behind him. He turned and got his hands on it. It's a pretty good effort on his part.
Of course, after I talk about how fast the half is moving, or this drive is moving, an incomplete pass stops the clock. So 3rd and 10 now. Daniels rolls out to his left looking for a receiver.
Oh, wow.
Had a man, Farrow, kind of behind the defense, but they could not connect.
Yeah, he had 2 or 3 guys that.
Here's your shoe moment, boys. Get ready.
Here we go. Good call, Mike. Good call. We got Brendan Kelly onto the field to punt. If you'll notice, folks, he's got a white cleat on his right foot. No, he switches after he punts. Yep, so, okay, there's the punt.
Pretty good punt.
Kohler with the fair catch.
Now, the
Now
shoe swap.
watch Brennan
The
Kelly.
shoe swap.
Brennan Kelly.
Oh, he's
runs
coming
over
off.
to the sideline.
He's just coming
Look,
off.
there he goes. There he goes. Look, this time he came
Yeah,
off.
he just came
and
off
he's
all the
making the
way.
switch himself on the sideline, and just like that. Now he's holding his right cleat.
Is he going back in or getting a break?
He's getting a breather here.
Bro.
By the way, a really good
Brennan
punt.
White Shoe Kelly.
It's the South Brunswick punter, Brennan Kelly. He's getting ready to go back in on defense now. I believe the coach just called him over there and is getting ready to put him in. We'll get it before the night's over. Hebron scrambling. Boy, Jay, he does.
Yeah.
Holds that football out there.
Kinda
Makes you a little
loose,
nervous,
you
but
know.
he knows what he's doing.
Tell you what, that was Ethan Adams that time, and another one of the big tacklers for the Cougars. And Eli better Better be careful out there with that loaf of bread. Pressure. Nice throw.
Corner route.
Nice throw.
I believe he came down out of bounds.
That's too bad.
It was a good throw, good catch by Reeves, but he couldn't get that foot down in bounds. And so Jay Topsail getting aggressive with it, but after an incomplete pass, now they're facing a 3rd and 7. If they don't get this and have to punt it away, it might be South Brunswick who could try and go get some points before the break.
And they have a kid that's got some range in terms
Petey.
of
Colin Petey, right?
Yeah, exactly. 2 for 2 field goals this year.
Topsail keeps it on the ground, and so much for South getting the ball back. That was a first down after the 8-yard gain by Hayes.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I don't know how big he is, but he's a tough hombre. he gets those tough yards, Sam, between the tackles.
We're under a minute 30.
Pressure from Adams.
Not going to get away from number 38. Ethan Adams sacks the quarterback, and it was significant loss of yardage. Lost 7 yards. Will be 2nd and 17. Topsail wants a timeout with 1:14 left to go before halftime. Dr. Mike, curious as to your thoughts on this situation that Topsail's facing. You got time. Clock stops after first downs. You got a couple timeouts left. Still 1:14, but you got a 14-point lead. South does get the ball after halftime. What do you like here? On one scale from 1 to 10, how aggressive do you want to play this if you're Topsail head coach Jack Teachy?
I go real aggressive here, first play, and then all that is everything after that's dependent on it, right? So I'm trying to get 11 yards, and then you can get aggressive again if you want, or you can just make a decision at that point how you're feeling. But you know me, every time we have this conversation, I want to be aggressive. Be aggressive.
BEAGGRESSIVE.
Huh?
I may or may not have spelled that correctly.
Okay. Clue me in on this one.
It was an old cheer. Be aggressive. BE aggressive. BEAGGRESSIVE.
Okay. We didn't do
When
that.
you sit at the bench a lot like me, you pick up on all the cheers. There's Hayes around the right side, Jay Bird. I think Dr. Mike just called it. I think you got 11 yards on the dot. Maybe 10. Oh, it was 2nd and 17. I think he got 10. But the clock continues to run. Topsail not getting in too big of a hurry here. See if they convert this first down. Then maybe you think about calling one of those timeouts and seeing if you can add some points.
I can't remember now. Who kicked off?
Topsail kicked. South kicked off to Topsail.
So South's going to get the ball.
Yep, South will get the ball after halftime. Yeah, Topsail not getting in any hurry. They're just going to give it to Smith around the left side, and he's got a play. He's got running room inside the 40. Finally knocked out of bounds around the 30-yard line. And just like Dr. Mike said, now the strategy changes. You picked up about 35, 40 yards on a 3rd and 7 run, and now and Topsail's had really good luck kicking the football this year, Jay Bird.
Yeah, they've got 2 kickers now. Robinson's handled point afters much apparently all season and certainly here tonight. But Nick Cross is 3 for 4 with field goals, longest being 27 yards.
Oh, what a
Did he catch
grab
it?
by
He
Smith.
did.
What a grab. And it's going to be a holding penalty. Ethan Adams was getting
Wow.
tackled when Hebron threw it. Yep.
Boy, let me tell you, Hebron delivered a strike that time, and the little guy Smith showing his athletic ability that time. Made the catch, took the hit.
Or, folks, listen, Jack Teachy knows a lot more about this stuff than I do. But, man, watching Hebron spin the football tonight, I'm wondering why they don't throw it more. He can spin it.
Yeah, he has this evening, and for, like I mentioned probably several times, tonight's game, he'd only thrown the ball 46 times, and their 5 games this season. That's like 9 passes a game, right? He's thrown 4 touchdown passes tonight.
Only 14 seconds left in the first half. This time,
Oh,
Topsail
boy.
rolls the pocket. Got a man on the wheel route. Oh, and he missed him.
Wow. That
Oh,
was Smith.
man, he had Smith wide open. It would have been a touchdown.
Holy
and they
moly.
could not quite connect. Boy, South Brunswick dodged a bullet that time.
They sure did. They sure did. And as accurate as Eli's been this evening, he certainly missed an opportunity there.
Would love to have that one back. Boy, Jay, I remember calling Eli Hebron's name when he was a sophomore at the Bash at the Beach Jamboree, and he was about 4 inches, maybe 5 shorter than he is right now. I remember we talked a lot about it that night. They're going to try a Hail Mary, and it hits the ground and falls incomplete. But, Jay,
still time.
we got 0.9 seconds left. And I believe Topsail will just throw that again. Maybe
Why
not
not?
to the exact same spot, to the exact same kid, but send everybody to the end zone and
Make
fire
a
a
play.
Hail Mary. Why not?
Sam, that was the exact same play. They just put a taller receiver out there.
Yeah, much taller. A tall drink of water, that number 12, Jack O'Day. So Topsail's going to call a timeout to talk it over with 0.9 seconds left before halftime. Big Mike, how do you defend these Hail Mary attempts?
Rush 3, drop 8, and just hope that you can bat the ball down. Never bat it up, I can tell you that. Bat it down and just put your best athletes out there.
A lot of times you'll see guys put their DBs, put some wide receivers, taller wide receivers back there deep, at heels on their own goal line.
Yeah, Belichick famously put Gronk and Randy Moss back there a couple
yeah.
times.
Yeah, I remember Moss being back there quite a bit. We do have some special halftime presentations tonight. The South Brunswick High School state champion softball team from this past spring will receive their rings at halftime tonight here at the football game.
And the PA announcer, Mr. Cavender, is getting an award too, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if his is being presented at halftime.
Oh, okay.
He was already given lifetime of service award for his years being the PA announcer at football games. Passes up. Cooper Creel nearly intercepted it, but it was batted down and incomplete. And a pretty strong finish to the second quarter, all things considered, for South Brunswick. But it's Topsail with a 14-point lead at halftime. Topsail 28, South Brunswick 14 on your FOCUS Broadband Game of the Week.
And welcome back to the second half of tonight's contest between South Brunswick and Topsail. The Pirates with the lead at the half, 28-14. 4 touchdown passes by quarterback Eline Hebron have led the Pirates to this lead. South Brunswick scored a couple of touchdowns. Daniels with a touchdown pass to Creel, and Creel with a 30-yard fumble return for points. But 28-14 to start the third quarter as Topsail kicks off.
And we're underway. South Brunswick, the 15-yard line with the opening tackle, Jay, of the second half, as the return man, number 9, Quinn Williams, couldn't quite keep his feet, but it was well covered by the Topsail Pirates.
Yeah, you know, I wonder if the field, I mean, it's getting cold. Supposedly.
I just stood in the bleachers for about 15 minutes at halftime speaking to a South Brunswick legend, Rand Smith, who had played football, basketball, and baseball here, and is we have sons the same age who compete against each other. And listen, if it's anything like their fathers, then Trent will have the upper hand on Huck for many, many years to come, because Rand was some kind of player.
Oh, it's 59 degrees outside
yes, it's
now,
chilly.
So it's chilly,
It's chilly.
And maybe that slip maybe caused by the weather somewhat. I don't know.
And Jay, I don't know if you spent any time on that artificial playing surface, but when it does get cold and drops like that quickly, it gets slick.
It gets a little slippery.
It does.
Okay.
I mean, for athletes like you and me, we could handle it. But, you know, for some of these high schoolers, it gets tough to keep your footing.
Because they move so quick.
That's right.
Yeah.
The issue is we move so slow, we don't
That's
have any
right.
problem keeping our feet. There's a good throw from Daniels to Farrow. Oh, Jay, we had a flag fly in there. All the balls on the ground. Topsail's recovered, but I think
Flag
the drive,
before.
I think it may have been a face mask.
We'll let the officials sort that out.
Listen, I'm going to jump in here and correct myself. I can't see that from all this way away. It just came at a time where it seemed like face mask would make sense. No, it's going to be a fumble recovery as a holding penalty against South Brunswick. It will be declined, and the fumble recovery stands. Mike, not what the Cougars needed on their first possession of the second half.
Absolutely not, and what a way to start the first quarter and the third quarter in this game. Really.
Yeah, we had a fumble on the south side to start the second half, a fumble on the Topsail side to start the first half. We're off and running with 11:08 left in the third. Topsail will have a 1st and 10, knocking on the door of the South Brunswick red zone. Mike, I don't want to overstate this or dive in too deep, but I'm going to anyway. Have you noticed how quickly Topsail gets this shotgun snap from the hands of Hebron to the running back? It seems most of the times in the shotgun it's more slow developing, but Hebron gets that ball to Hayes so quickly, it just looks different.
I'm gonna start, and it starts with the center. I don't know if you can see it, but he is doing a two-handed shotgun snap. I have never seen that.
Whoa.
From the field of play, not a long snapper. The reason you typically don't do that is because you're at a disadvantage when you're doing a shotgun snap, because you're actually having to throw your hand back behind you and you have to shoot it up to hit the defender. So to do it with both hands, pretty impressive. So I'm going to assume, make big assumption here, the ball's getting back there quicker so he can just shoot it into the running back's gut quicker.
Yeah, I mean, it is just a really, really quick transition from the center to the quarterback into the belly of Hayes and Cook and other running backs. It's pretty impressive. 3rd and 5 for Topsail at the 18-yard line. Man in motion. Hayes up the middle. He's got first down. No, not quite. Yep, now that second effort there at the end was enough for the first down yardage down to the 12-yard line. So a good start to the second half by the Topsail Pirates. Topsail, the visitors tonight, in business. Topsail trying to improve to 4-2 overall and 3-1 in Mid-Eastern Conference play. Topsail currently tied for second place in the MEC with Ashley and Laney. Laney with a big lead over West Brunswick in Wilmington. tonight, and Ashley in a fight with Hoggard. Screaming Eagles trailing right now. So Topsail could find itself just a game out of first place, or potentially tie for first place if Hoggard were to lose tonight. Yeah, I think, Jay, we said it in the first half, and Mike's talked a lot about it tonight, just how sound and disciplined and structured they are. This is a good Topsail football team.
Yeah, it is, and I think they understand clearly what their capabilities are, and then they work diligently to execute them.
Sam, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about that handoff, the shotgun snap handoff. I think he's actually setting up shorter than a normal quarterback would in a shotgun as well. He's only like 3.5, 4 yards back, which would lead to, again, a quicker ball to quarterback to running back connection.
It's called the mini shot.
The mini shot.
Yeah.
I took a lot of those at mine. Mini shotgun snaps, fellas. Regular shotgun snaps, yes. Option pitch out to the right. Oh, Smith has got absolutely nowhere to go.
That's
and
good
he just
defense,
trots
Sam.
out of bounds. Really good defense. Jay, they had it covered from the start, didn't they?
Think it
oh,
was.
no. And Smith just dropped to the turf
Oh,
over on the sideline. Man, Jay just went right, trotted out of bounds, and then just dropped. Certainly hope he is okay. We're going to have a timeout on the field. That was unsettling, guys. Anyway, 28-14, Topsail lead.
I had my head. I was looking for trying to pick up the number of the South Brunswick player involved in the stop, and it was Terrapin Gentleman. So I did not see him go down.
Jay, he's moving and things.
Yeah,
Just I don't want to send any red flags up or alarm anyone. It's clearly some kind of lower body injury or something he's dealing with. I didn't want to create any sense of panic for unnecessary reasons, but certainly hope he's okay. And Jay, it could be as simple as a cramping issue. And remember, we were in the cramping capital of the world 3 weeks ago at North Brunswick. Remember when they played?
Oh, my soul.
Who was that against? Yeah, it may have been the Northwest Carteret or the North-South game.
Or the North-South game,
Man, there must have been 10 to 15 bodies who dropped that night for injury timeouts.
A little temperature difference tonight, but yeah, who's to say?
Only about 25 degrees
Yeah.
difference.
Halftime score from North Brunswick: New Hanover 27, North Brunswick 16.
Wow, another high-scoring affair in the Mid-Eastern Conference.
Next week, Ashley comes here.
Yeah, Ashley at South Brunswick. You've got Hoggard hosting Topsail, Laney at New Hanover, and we will be in Charlotte for North Brunswick at West Brunswick. So a home game, if you will, for the FOCUS Broadband. What's the distance from the West Brunswick High School campus to the FOCUS Broadband headquarters? About 18 steps, I think, there from the baseball facility
Big
to
step.
FOCUS. Yeah, that's probably more accurate. About 500 feet. It's
big steps.
real close. Yeah, there you go, Jay Burton. I like that one. Dr. Mike, any word from the sideline down there?
I couldn't. I was trying to listen to what the ref was telling Coach Yao, but I didn't get it. I'm a poor sideline reporter. I apologize. But yeah, it looks like he's sitting up now, so they're definitely checking his leg. Hopefully it's just a cramp, but fingers crossed.
So as far as the game goes, a quick reset, 8:52 left in the third quarter. But, Jay, this has been a good since Topsail got a 1st and 10 at the 13, South has done a good job. Topsail had a false start, then tried to run an option to the right side, and as you described it, South just defended it exceptionally well. So Topsail has a 3rd and 13 here from the 17-yard line. So unless they get some significant yardage here, Pirates will have to try a field goal. So a big play coming up for Hebron and the Pirate offense.
Wow. Did they get
Flag was thrown. There's 5 of them back.
Wow.
Against the Cougars, so that'll give 5
I think
yards back.
I think I'm going to vote for your rule change, Sam.
It just doesn't seem to have any impact on either side or what they're trying to do. So just let them hop back and let's play on. But the rule is the rule. It's being called correctly.
3rd and 9 now.
So 3rd and 9 for the Pirates. More manageable situation here. Hebron looks to the sideline for the play call. Topsail leading 28-14. 8:52 left in the 3rd. Topsail offense certainly looks different without Smith there. And Topsail's going to have to burn a timeout. No, it's a delay of game penalty. Boy, Jay, I tell you, that is really, really odd to see after we just were down for about 10 minutes with an injury timeout. Haven't run a play since that injury timeout, and for them to come out after the offside and get a delay of game, that's just a little odd.
Yeah, particularly for a squad that does appear very organized and you know, on time with their plays and everything they do.
Play clock down to 5 again, but this time the snap's off in plenty of time. Hebron rolls out, fires over the middle of the field. It was intended for Jack O'Day, but over his outstretched arms, incomplete, and that will bring on the field goal unit and number 34, Talon Robinson, the senior kicker. Jay, I know you mentioned earlier that Cross has done some kicking, but it's Talon Robinson who's coming on for the 34-yard field goal try.
He sure handles point afters very well, so no reason to think he wouldn't do that with field goals. Caleb Holland, a backup quarterback, is the holder.
A 34-yard attempt, good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it is no good. It misses wide to the right, and South Brunswick's defense with an enormous stop. Jay, that fell after Topsail was knocking on the door of taking a 20 to 21 point lead, and come out of that having given up nothing. Big win for the South Brunswick defense.
Yeah, and you know, certainly a great time for them to play maybe their best series of the night, because another score there and you're down
17.
You're down a lot.
Field goal would have made it 17.
Well,
touchdown would have made it 20 plus.
Exactly. So, but the defense held, and now it's up to Jaden Daniels to see if he can work some magic again.
South did have some success moving the ball late in the first half. Not so much on this first down snap. Dr. Mike, and I know it's early in the second half. You haven't had any time to dive in. The general feeling on the South Brunswick sideline. I know they're 0-5, 0-2 in the league. Have taken some lopsided losses here recently. Is this you get the sense this is a team that came out of the break believing they're in a fight here, or what's the general sense you get?
From what I've seen today, and even just earlier games that we've covered, Coach Yao keeps these kids pretty level-headed in terms of not letting them get too down. Definitely they get excited on the way up, but I think they're doing all right, and we'll see here. But, yeah, no, overall, I don't get that sense that you can feel sometimes the air just gets sucked out of a sideline or out of a room. I don't get that sense here.
That's going to be a holding penalty against South Brunswick. We're going to see if they're going to, I believe they are going to move them back here.
Well, Daniels was under a lot of pressure that time, particularly from Ryder Wilcox, outside linebacker for Topsail. And I think you're right, Sam. They are going to step them back.
Holding was the call against the Cougars during that play, and they're going to take that penalty, so a 10-yard penalty.
Now, we talk a lot about Hebron as a quarterback, but Hebron is also one of their starters defensively from the defensive backfield position. He has 11 tackles, 1 fumble recovery, and a couple interceptions.
Basically 20.
Screen, Oh, very nearly picked off by number 8, Ryder Wilcox. Another really good-looking kid on this Topsail roster. He was all over that screen. And, Jay, we've seen South Brunswick run that play this year with a lot of success, that middle screen, but not so much there.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's got to be tough when to move. It is tough to move the ball consistently when you're not able to run. And they just haven't figured out how to run the ball this year. Oh, nice play.
Wilcox again.
Yeah.
Ball knocked down on 3rd down.
And now they're going to punt from probably in their end zone or close to it.
Kelly to do the punting for the Cougars.
So, number 55, Brennan Kelly, the senior lineman, back to kick, and you'll see his right foot has a white shoe. His left foot, the black shoe, and that's his kicking shoe, his right foot.
Pretty good punt. Kohler gets out of the way. It goes out of bounds at the 36-yard line of South Brunswick.
Now you'll see Kelly running off the field.
So 63's tossing him the cleat.
There's this toss.
The white cleat comes off. The black
nice
cleat
catch.
goes on.
Needs a shoe
Oh,
hanger.
having a little tougher time this time, and it's on.
He fumbled the entry on that one.
But still plenty of time. Uh-oh. He's still working on it. He's got it. Brennan Kelly.
Great job by the girls and Nathan. Bringing home that story, the shoe swap play.
Pirates ball, 1st and 10.
Pirates get the ball in great field position. They can run.
They certainly have no problems running the football. Look, Cook's still going there, partner. What's that? Hayes, I missed the second number. That is number 20. That's Hayes.
Yeah, last week in their win over North Brunswick, they rushed for 4 touchdowns. This evening in the game against South, they passed for 4 touchdowns. Not much on the on that play, so it'll be 2nd and call it 8 or 9.
2nd and 9, gain of 1 on the play.
2nd and 9 from just outside the red zone of South Brunswick. Hebron in the shotgun. That's Hayes, brought down by Nate early. You know, Jay, I'm thinking back to what my sibling fights looked like growing up. And, man, they couldn't be nearly as physical as Nate and Jack Early going at it. You imagine those two animals fighting in the living room? Man, that's two big kids.
I'll tell you what, that would one of them pay-per-view things, huh? You know. Really happy for Jack. He had a devastating injury last year. He's come back and had a terrific senior year. There's a slip.
Man,
again, that's turf, Sam, you were talking about.
Had a great play dialed up, and the Josiah Sidbury, the back who caught the option pitch, couldn't keep his feet. It was a certain first down, maybe a touchdown, but he slipped down. It'll be a 4th and 3 from the 16-yard line.
I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at it. Maybe try to draw them off offsides. I don't know.
The basic run between the tackles has been real successful tonight for Top. So we got 5:40 left. Jay, the play clock is winding down fast. Under 5, 3, 2. Topsail got it off. Hebron's going to keep it. Oh, man, he got it, but not by much. Not by much, but he definitely got enough for the first down yardage. South, boy, Jay, there was a couple seconds there where it looked like South was going to get him shy of the line to gain, but a good 2nd and 3rd effort by Hebron to get the first down yardage.
I think Hebron kind of made chicken soup out of chicken feathers that time because I believe he wanted to toss it, but the back to receive the toss was much too close to him, so.
Hayes up the middle, touchdown, Topsail. Matthew Hayes from 12 yards out. And, Jay, how about that? Topsail has 34 points, and that was the first rushing touchdown of the night for one of the area's best running teams.
surprises you every game is, despite what the paper might say.
And had 4 rushing touchdowns last Friday night against North Brunswick. That was the first one here tonight. But let's not, I don't mean to suggest the offense hasn't been effective. It's just been on the scoring plays tonight from Topsail. There have been 4 through the air and only 1 on the ground. Extra point attempt is up. It is good. So number 34, Talon Robinson, remains perfect on point after tries tonight, and Topsail leads 35-14. Jay, look at Hayes take this one across the goal line.
Tell you what, that was a bit of Hayes and a lot of the blocking from his offensive line that time. I'm not sure a South Brunswick defender really got much of a hand on him.
So 5:06 left in the third quarter. Topsail has taken a 21-point lead. And Dr. Mike, that was exactly what the doctor ordered for the Pirates. Topsail could not capitalize after recovering a fumble deep in South Territory after Kelly's short punt. Topsail able to take it on this drive, convert a critical 4th down, and then take it in with Hayes for a 12-yard score. Just what Topsail needed about midway through the third.
Well, you just took everything I was going to say, Sam. But yeah, exactly. That's what you want. I haven't changed positions this entire quarter, so because everything's been down here and they finally executed and got it down. So we'll see what South has to come back with.
It's Cooper Krill on the kick return, looking for some running room, and he has very little. A good job on special teams coverage by number 82, John Terry. Jay, you don't see a lot of guys listed as offensive and defensive linemen who are on the kick coverage team, but Terry got down there quickly and made a nice sure tackle, didn't he?
John Terry, he sure did on that play, and he's a senior, but he's had 24 tackles, 6 tackles for a loss and a half a sack. So doing some double duty there, playing defensively and playing special teams for Coach Teachy's Pirates.
Dr. Mike, is that late, like really late shift by the Topsail defensive line? What's the goal? What are you trying to accomplish with that real late shift?
Number 1 goal, what just happened, right? So you make that quick lateral move, maybe they jump. The other thing is, depending on the blocking scheme that's called, it could actually have devastating effects. Because offensive linemen are typically calling their blocks depending on where you're lined up on them. If they shift out one gap, that might throw the whole thing off. If it's a zone read blocking, it's not going to have much effect. But if you're thinking runs up the center like a trap play or a counter play, that's definitely going to kind of could have some major issues.
Yep. Mike, I think the problems it caused that time continue. In South Brunswick was a little disorganized and had to call a timeout before this 1st and 15 play. Jaybird, Topsail, 21-point lead. Little less than 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Desperation time here for South Brunswick. You're starting to feel like got to get a score here. This one could get away from us, right?
Yeah, I mean, still a lot of football to play, and we've seen how turnovers can certainly, play a part in that here this evening. But pretty soon the Cougs are going to be playing not only their opponent in Topsail, but the clock. And so they need to score, of course, and the quicker the better. And when you have a guy with an arm like Daniels and some capable receivers, which South Brunswick has, 3 receivers in double figures this year. So got some weapons out there, just got to get some time to find them.
Good throw from Daniels to Farrow. Farrow with a good run after the catch all the way out to about the 28-yard line. After the penalty yardage on the false start, not quite enough for a first down, but a good pitch and catch from Daniels to Farrow.
And, we've complimented Topsail, and rightfully so this evening, for picking up the pace, getting out over the ball, snapping plays, and that's something maybe a little bit hurry up for South would again perhaps help them change the pace here a little bit.
Give up the middle. Isaiah Williams, he's stuffed.
Just have hard time running the football, which really then makes throwing the football all the more difficult because the defensive team is just, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. We got a player down for South, and that, well, I don't know, might be a cramp.
So Jay, with 3:54 left in the third quarter, we have injury timeout on the field. Topsail 35, South Brunswick 14. Mike, what's the weather like? Has it got significantly cooler now than it was at kickoff?
It's the first time this year I can see my breath down here on the field. So, yeah, it's got a little chilly. It's not too bad, though. It's, again, crisp. I'm comfortable, but I got a little bit of insulation and a little bit of Ohio blood in me. So, you know, I like it. I actually almost wore shorts tonight, but I thought otherwise.
Yeah, you would just been showing off if you had done that.
You know, Mike, my dad used to say the high school football season starts when you can see your breath, you know, in the air on Friday night. So here we are. We can officially begin the 2024 high school football season.
Those are some of the best visuals of football when you have the offense and defensive linemen just
Oh,
you
man.
can see the breath
Yeah.
going. I had a couple games like that in my career. There was always the fun ones to play in for sure.
Or, you know, you see them take their helmet off on the sideline and the steam just rising up over their head.
For the Cougars at their own 29-yard line.
Big third down play coming up here for
You know,
South Brunswick.
maybe just a fun fact for you, but like leather helmets don't steam. At least mine didn't.
Leather helmet. Listen at George Clooney over here. Wasn't he in Leatherheads?
He was.
What was it? Okay, I had the right movie. Oh, good run
There
on
you
third
go.
down. That's enough for the first down yardage, and then some. Man, Mike, I tell you, Cooper Creel, the receiver down here on your side for South Brunswick, he has to be tired. That's like the sixth straight play where he's just, you know, you're not always stop blocking. Sometimes you're just running off the DB. So he's run about 5 30-yard sprints here in the last 3 or 4 minutes of real time.
High schoolers aren't supposed to get tired, Sam, so I'm sure he's fine.
That's like getting a guy up in the pen, right?
Yep. Uh-oh, that pocket collapsing quick. Daniels being chased down from behind. Wilcox couldn't get to him. Daniels with a real good run.
I'll tell you what, little escapability that time by big Jaden Daniels.
Mike, any idea why the clock's running after a play like that?
I don't know. I think we might have saw that a little bit in the first half as
Stop
well.
now.
Oh, there we go. There we go. It's what he did the signal like to wind it as Daniels ran out of bounds. Anyway, 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Daniels pass out to the right.
Now, in a play like that, if he goes out of bounds, like retreating away from the line of scrimmage or like running
Yeah.
backwards into it,
Yeah.
then the clock runs. That makes sense. But yeah, we've had a little bit of interesting things happening so far. Nothing major though.
Quinn Williams doing some kind of dance out there. For
Yeah.
South. I think he's
And now
trying-
banging on his hamstring,
trying
maybe
to
trying
stay
to
away
loosen
from a
up.
cramp. Yeah, I bet you. He took a pretty good shot that time from Wilcox.
Short hop, and the first baseman couldn't pick it out of the dirt, so it'll be 4th and 2 for South Brunswick.
So Williams reluctantly comes out, number 9.
Dante Bryant comes in, the tailback spot.
But I guarantee you Quinn Williams does not want to come out of the game.
And Jay's still doing some applied metrics down here on the sideline, trying to get
one of
loose.
them, like Rockefeller dancer, you know, or whatever they do. Pressure.
4th and 2, Daniels. Oh, he fumbled. Ball's on the ground. South jumps on it, but Jay is 4th down.
So the ball was recovered.
Well, somehow Wilcox
Yeah.
came up with
Ryder,
the ball.
yeah, it doesn't matter, though. It was 4th down.
Yeah.
Whoever recovered it, I guess, is inconsequential. It's going to be Topsail football either way, and we got a man down.
It's a cramp.
Another cramp.
You know, this is a This is a issue I deal with frequently, but it's usually brain cramps. Not so much in the calves or the hamstrings or thighs. I just struggle with the mental ones.
I can understand that. Mike, help us out with cramps. I mean, what do we do? You're a physical therapist. I
am. One, just being general flexibility. Most people that there's strength training, there's cardiorespiratory training. Everybody forgets about the flexibility training of things. It's the other major component of fitness. So that's one of it. Strength, endurance, all that sort of stuff, along with flexibility, helps reduce that. Diet, exercise. So diet is important. So everybody says bananas, and they say that because they watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Have a lot of potassium. Potatoes have more potassium than bananas, I believe.
Wow.
So eat your potatoes, the skins, not just the whites. I don't know. I honestly, maybe it's this new generation. I don't know. I don't ever remember seeing this many cramps in my career.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Dr. Mike is a wealth of knowledge, isn't he? Did you know potatoes have more potassium than bananas?
I had no idea. But
I didn't know that.
I mean, I might have just made it up. You're going to have to Google it.
I mean, would JD get fact-checked on that?
2:25 left in the third. Oh, we got a pre-snap penalty against the Pirates. That'll back this up 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15 from the 43-yard line.
Has this been a weird third quarter or what?
Yes.
Again, Jay, I haven't moved.
Choppy. Cheeky, choppy.
I've crossed the 30 once. Otherwise, I've just been down here. So, yeah, it's been weird.
Hey, you do not have to worry about cramping issues when you're stationary.
It's cold.
Potatoes do, in fact, have more potassium than bananas.
Wow.
It has been checked. It has been confirmed. Look at this RPO. And a good bit of news for – whoa!
Wow.
Did you guys see that? He got slung down and then did a breakdancing move, just spinning around on that artificial turf. But good news for Topsail is Smith is back in the game, Jay.
That's
good
news.
His first snap since he went down over on the far sideline a few moments ago.
And that was Gregor Brock, I believe, with the sling.
He's really turned into a nice player.
And that's the golfer?
Yes, and his dad, Larry, is on the staff at South Brunswick.
At South Brunswick, yeah.
Yep. So his dad was offensive lineman starter for several years at Appalachian State.
Oh.
He was quite a player.
Tall cotton.
In his day.
Gosh, pray for those poor folks out in western North Carolina.
Oh, man.
I've got some relatives out there. It has been a mess.
And Jay Bird, and it seemed like right when relief efforts were really getting rolling in western North Carolina, at one point in the storm of the centuries rolling into Florida, and just a lot of time praying for the folks. And
what we were, my wife and I were on the phone with her brother and his wife in Venice, Florida, which is about 30 minutes from where that hurricane came ashore.
South has struggled tonight defending the runs between the tackles, but those little option plays have not been giving them too much trouble.
Anyway, when we had that
conversation,
they were absolutely petrified.
No,
the sounds,
so, right?
The sounds that were being made. The cage or whatever you call it around their swimming pool had already been blown away.
Oh man!
I mean, it was serious stuff. So we pray for everyone in those storms in those areas affected. First punt.
Man, and that's the first thing Hebron has done wrong tonight.
Yeah. And is that the first punt of the game maybe for Topsail? I don't remember,
Yep. The only possession they missed one possession ended with a missed field goal. One possession ended with a South Brunswick touchdown when they fumbled. Otherwise, it's been Topsail touchdowns and this most recent punt. And, Jay, back to the Western North Carolina storm and recovery and aftermath. It's impacted the high school athletic scene. That season's been extended a week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's my understanding as well. And gosh, how this is all going to sort out, I guess, over the next, 3 weeks or so, we'll find out. Pressure again.
And that one's going to be declined because there's a sack
going down in
So there's 5 blue-shirted blockers and the ball carrier against a couple 3 tenacious Topsail rushers. And I believe you're right, Sam. Probably a penalty on that one against the Cougars.
It was a holding for sure.
Yeah, it'll certainly be declined. You take the result of the play, and it will be a sack in about 2nd and 20.
Well, trying to, I guess, decide what to do.
Well, it's also 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and the foul was at the 20. So they could.
Oh, yeah. It'd be first and 30.
First and 30.
Yeah.
Or 2nd and 22, which would you prefer?
Yep, good call.
They declined.
So, folks, if you're a longtime viewer of FOCUS Broadband Games of the Week, you never know what you might get on a Friday night. So far tonight, already, we're not even through the 3rd quarter, and we've already given you a little wax and gibbous, potassium fact, and so much more. That wide receiver screen was stopped for a short gain. So it'll be 3rd and 16 for South Brunswick as the game clock ticks below the 30-second mark. Got about 25 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. South Brunswick could let the game clock expire and just go into the 4th quarter if it so chooses. But it looks like Daniel's barking out instructions, and maybe South Brunswick gets a snap off. Nah, they're going to let
Coach
it run
Yow's already
down.
halfway on the field
Yep.
at the other end. I think they're going to let it go.
Yep, they're going to let it
Hey,
wind
I get
down.
to move now.
And for the first time in the 2nd half, Dr. Mike is switching sides, and we're going to take ourselves a quick break before the 4th quarter. 12 minutes of game action left. It's Topsail 35, South Brunswick 14. And we are back. The South Brunswick cheerleaders are rocking and rolling and ready for the 4th quarter here from Jack Campbell Stadium on the campus of South Brunswick High School. And Jay, it's just high school football is in the air. We talked about it some in the 3rd quarter. It just feels like high school football outside, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm kind of keep thinking about what your dad told you, that high school football starts when you can see your breath.
Yeah.
Is that right? I
Yeah.
think Yogi's onto something there.
Oh, Daniel's getting pressure from
Yeah.
behind. Boy, Mike used the term earlier. Somebody got sawed in half during a rugby game, and Daniel's just experienced it there on the receiving end. And white cleat Brennan Kelly on for punting duties for the South Brunswick Cougars after that sack on 3rd down. Let me tell you, this Jay, what Jaden Daniels has endured through the first 6 games tells me one thing: he is a really tough hombre.
cookie, yeah.
Man,
yeah.
Jay, he gets hit. And, I mean, I know he's big and he can absorb it, but he's taking some licks here tonight.
No, boy, you talk about on-the-job training. Bad snap. Kelly makes the most of it, but Topsail's
That
going
one's
to get
going
great.
to roll back inside the 30-yard line of the Cougars. So Topsail, Dr. Mike, 3rd consecutive possession that Topsail will start inside the 30-yard line of the Cougars.
Yeah, not ideal if you were a Cougars fan. Topsail was able to capitalize on one of those two. We'll see what happens here, but they're playing a little shakier than they did in the first 2 quarters. So we'll see what happens. Like you said earlier, the outside run hasn't been working for them as much, particularly in the second half, but the inside run for sure is still on.
1st and 10 at the, we'll call it the 30-yard line of the Cougars. Hebron, boy, Topsail going for the dagger shot. Deep pass over the heads of everyone. It lands on the S in the Cougars text in the end zone in front of the Mose Lewis Athletic Fieldhouse. And that will stop the clock with 11:02 left in the game. Topsail leading by 21.
I think the intended receiver that time was Landon Cook. Now check it, number 13, Nick Cross. And that was 10 yards over his head. Smith.
Run
Can he
around
turn
the right
corner?
side, trying to turn the corner, and Cook.
That is a football play, Sam.
Yeah, picked up about 2 yards, but a good. Was that Adams who chased him down?
That was Hurley.
Early.
Yeah.
Should
Jack
have known.
Hurley.
Should have known.
Jack Early.
Boy, man, Quinn Williams is having the hardest time. Jay just played one more snap and it came right back off his legs, just tightening up on him. He barely can bend that right leg as he's walking off the field.
Struggling over there on the side. I hope he can work that cramp out. So does South Brunswick.
RPO, pass to the left.
Oh,
good block. Oh, still on his feet. They're going to get Hebron for a blindside block.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You mean a clean block? Because that thing was smooth, man.
How could
He's the
that be?
quarterback.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know about that one.
Do you have to, like, set a basketball pick? Like, what?
I don't know what he would have. I don't know.
It's just a good football play, man. I get upset when they penalize good football plays.
Yeah, me too. And how ironic, that's a quarterback who they're, overprotect in many people's opinions, is the one that throws a block there and gets called for the penalty. But that's part of Hebron, as I mentioned. He plays both ways, and so he plays a lot of defense for Topsail, and of course runs the attack offensively, and shown his ability there on that one to be physical.
3rd and 20.
Gentlemen, 28-20, Hoggard lead over Ashley. Hebron just going to fling one toward the end zone. Did he catch that ball?
He caught the ball, but
he caught it. I don't know if he caught it inbounds, but he caught it.
They're going to talk about it.
Jay, I think he was inbounds.
They're looking at it.
From my vantage point up here, he was inbounds. Touchdown!
Wow.
Hebron to Cameron Kohler. What a play that was for Hebron to keep it alive. Roll out to his left, fling it 50 yards across his body, and for Kohler to make the grab. Boy, Coach Yao wants an explanation. That's for certain.
Holy moly. Yeah, Dan's not, Daniel Yao, not very happy with that call, and is taking a timeout.
I think this is a timeout, folks. We'll get another look here on the replay. Hebron rolls out to his right, reverses field, across his body, 43 yards. Oh.
So you need 1 foot in, right?
Yeah, and he never got it.
I don't know.
0 feet.
Any chance we can see that one again? That was very, very close. The ruling on the field is touchdown.
Man, it was close, folks. But if you can see what Nathan had look, Jay, there's his first foot that comes down. The ball's not right there. That one's out of bounds.
Left is out of bounds.
And then the other one comes down out of bounds. But of course, tough to see in real time.
Yeah, it is. They got him.
I don't think Kohler thought he caught it. If I don't think Kohler thought he was in bounds after the the catch.
That call's not going to change. So,
no, there's no challenge or overturns in high school football. So the touchdown will stand. 41-14 lead for the Topsail Pirates with 9:56 left to go in the game.
5 touchdown passes tonight for Eli Hebron.
Whether or not he was in bounds or not, to me, kind of a moot point. It was an exceptional individual effort by Hebron.
Yeah.
And a great catch by Kohler. Kick is up. Kick is good, and the lead is 42-14. And Jay, some folks are starting to file out here on the home side as the lead is now 28 points with 9:56 left to go in the game. But I said it during the middle of all that. Hoggard 28, Ashley 20.
Wow.
With 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
In the third quarter?
In the third quarter. So a lot of game left, and, man, that one, I bet that stadium at Ashley is a rocking tonight.
It's just electric. Yeah, so Hoggard likes to throw the ball, and they got a great sophomore quarterback in Matthew Boring, who leads the conference, leads the area, and pass yards at 988. And to combat that, Ashley's got a great running attack featuring Brewington, their senior tailback, 738 yards rushing on the season, and he has scored 56 points. Now, none of those statistics include what's going on here this evening. Who else was on the leader? Receiving yards, Ton, junior from Laney High School, 334 yards through the air this year. Ooh.
Oh, ball's on the ground, Jay Byrne.
Wow.
Good job by South Brunswick jumping on it. Jay, real-time update. Ashley just picked off a pass, has the ball down 8 late in the third quarter.
Tell you what, Coach Lombardi's got those kids believing. Got those kids believing. I think that was Jaden Augustin who fell on the loose ball that time for South Brunswick.
As of now, everything at the concession stand is half price.
Uh-oh.
You hear that, Sam?
I'm out, folks. I'm out, folks. Thanks for joining us. Jay will have you for the last 9:47 concession stand prices have just been chopped in half. Nice knowing you. We'll see you next week in Shiloh. Oh, no, I would never leave you guys. No, cool, crisp Friday night. Not with Faro still making moves and making things happen over on the sideline. Man, Dr. Mike is right on top of the action down there. He was about 3 yards away from that play where Faro caught the ball. So 2nd and 3 coming up for South Brunswick. Dr. Mike right in the middle of the action.
Mike's just trying to get next to somebody to stay warm. That's all.
No, he did.
Oh, I'm not cold.
He's got that Ohio blood. Hey, anybody want to join me at 7:30 a.m. for a little Brunswick Football League action tomorrow morning? It'll be 50 degrees and the kids will act like it's 12. Oh, Coach Sam, I'm freezing. And I usually say, me too, guys. Hey, listen. Let me describe what a perfect morning looks like. Come check out the Shiloh Pirates at 9 a.m. at Town Creek Park. When you leave there, head right back to Shiloh for FOCUS Broadband Customer Appreciation Day. That's, again, tomorrow, Saturday, October 12th. It's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Isaiah Williams is off and running. It's Isaiah Williams Appreciation Day as he rumbles inside the 30 down at the 25. Folks, that's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 640 Whiteville Road in Shiloh. FOCUS Broadband Customer Appreciation Day, 11 to 2 tomorrow at 640 Whiteville Road. Free food. You can't miss it.
And
you can't miss it.
Sam will be autographing FOCUS Broadband hats. and shirts and
Jay's telling stories up here,
all
folks.
kinds of stuff.
If anybody comes up there tomorrow looking for me to autograph something, number one. Oh, it's called. Oh, man.
gosh.
Very nearly caught by Farrow in the end zone. And Jay, I believe he did, quote unquote, catch it, but when he hit the ground,
It came loose.
it came loose.
What a
and
great
falls
effort.
Incomplete.
What an
man.
effort.
Coach Yao getting a little upset here. That looked like he had contact early. And what I will say is, so far, yeah, he's normally a pretty level-headed guy from what we've seen over the last couple of games.
Very.
But in his opinion, they've missed a false start. They've missed the catch over there, or they called the catch over there, and then they just missed that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be a good night for Coach Yao.
No. Fletcher Lanier made the catch, but then he was driven into the home turf here at South Brunswick. Picked up about 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. We'll call it 3rd and 5 for South Brunswick. And Jay, you know, you're thinking here down 28, approaching the 7-minute mark. You're at 4-down territory all day long here.
For sure. Even though they have a very competent kicker, the field goals are not going to get them back into this game. Only touchdowns, and against that running 7:23 clock, not a running clock, but a moving clock. That'll stop it on the
Man, critical
incomplete.
3rd down play, and all I can think about is half-price concessions. What a shame.
I'm down here. You want me to go get you something?
That's right.
Get the
Hey.
money. Get the money from him first, okay?
Oh, man. It'll turn into Big Mike Appreciation Day if there's a Snickers delivery.
My wallet's in the press box.
4th and 5, South Brunswick trying to stay
Nice,
alive, and they do
nice.
just that. It's Cooper Krill on the catch inside the 10, and Jay, a flag at the very end of that.
Or somebody
Some kind of
grabbed onto
personal
that.
foul or something there at the end of it.
That might move them up a little closer if it's against Topsail.
Jay, half the distance to the goal from where the ball was spotted would get him to the 4-yard line.
Boy, I don't know how many catches Creel has this evening, but
Dead ball, personal foul. So it wasn't a face mask; it was a dead ball penalty. Maybe
It looked a little
hit
late.
of some
Yeah,
kind?
the second guy came in. Looked like Cooper was already had a knee down on the ground.
So 1st and goal, Cougars at the 4-yard line. South Brunswick fighting to stay alive in this one as the time is starting to work against them. We're under the 7-minute mark here in the 4th quarter. South down by 28. Going to have to score here and 3 more times to reach the 42-point plateau. Quarterback draw. Daniels stopped shy of the goal line. He barely even got back to the line of scrimmage, Jay Bird. So he's marked down at the 4. The game clock continues to roll. And, man, that is a lot of kid to tackle on those quarterback draws. Topsail did a good job of it there.
real good job, yeah. But kind of tucked away down there in the corner, hard to see who was on that stop, but it was a fine tackle.
South tries to keep it on the ground again.
Nothing.
Guys, on a serious note, tomorrow, FOCUS Broadband hosting Customer Appreciation Day. Well, this customer appreciates the service I received. Was it early this week? I was late last week. Had a tech come out, and guys, I am not exaggerating. He may have been the nicest young man I've ever met in my life. Tyler. I think Brown, but don't hold me to that. But Tyler, if you're watching tonight, you're the man. I think I probably held him up in his afternoon. I was picking his brain about all kinds of things. But as Daniels finds Cooper Farrow in the back of the end zone for a South Brunswick touchdown, 42-20. But Tyler Brown, if you're watching, wonderful job last week. And I know FOCUS Broadband, very lucky to have you, fortunate to have you out there representing the company and the brand. Jay, nice throw there from Daniels to Farrow. Farrow.
You know, it helps when you don't have to run for your life, right? Daniels can just stand back there and deliver, and he certainly threw a strike that time to Farrow. his second touchdown pass of the game.
Of course, Jay, the big play of this drive, a 43-yard run from Isaiah Williams, got him, down to the.
Helps when you can, when you can run, then helps when you to pass.
2-point conversion try. Daniels. Pass was picked off, and you can't run back a conversion in high school football. So Ryder Wilcox stops at midfield after picking off that pass. And Jay, on a 2-point conversion play, really a good decision by Daniels. Just get rid of it. Somehow. You're definitely not going to get it if you're being sacked and going to the ground.
Yeah, throw it up there. No, limited risk.
Here's a replay of the touchdown play, Jay Bird.
Well, look, see, nobody's in his face this time, and he can just step back and find a receiver. A nice route that time by Farrow, and touchdown Cougars.
5:32 left in the game is a 22-point lead for the Topsail Pirates. So, barring a miraculous South Brunswick comeback, Topsail going to move to 4-2 in league play. And boy, Topsail's got a big one next week, Jay Bird, at Hoggard. Topsail will have its hands full next week at Scott Braswell Stadium across the bridge in Wilmington. But Topsail's got a job to finish here. Big Mike, it was a 28-14 score at halftime.
Maybe onside here, Sam? No?
Well, Jay, I thought so until the Topsail thought so for sure. They're going to let that one carry them across the goal line and into the end zone. Hoggard has extended its lead over Ashley to 35-20, so the Screaming Eagles got some serious work to do to come back and beat Hoggard. But, man, I tell you, that's a tough test for Hoggard tonight going over to Ashley. That has been a 4-quarter game.
First and 10 for the Pirates from their own 20-yard line.
Jay, do you expect this Topsail attack to get real ground heavy here, less than 6 minutes to go in the game? Well, they've been kind of ground heavy all season and all night, and have
thrown 5 touchdown passes.
Right,
tonight.
but they picked real opportune times to throw the football, haven't they?
Well, I absolutely
must have.
It must have, and they're very judicious with their throwing, have been all season, and tonight they maybe up the ante a little bit, and very successfully so. But yeah, they like to run the football. They average 6.3 yards per carry as a team, so why not? That's a nice pitch. That's a real nice
Sid
pitch.
Berry with a big gain, finally slung down by. I couldn't tell, guys. I'm sorry. That was Cooper Krill eventually on the tackle.
I got a feeling that when they look at the film of this game and they look at that particular play, that the coaches would turn around and say, boys, that's exactly how you run the option. Okay, exactly. Hebron did a great job of pitching it after the commit. Taking some time off the clock, no big hurry.
Topsail just content keeping this thing on the ground and running some game clock off. We're approaching the 4-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Topsail leads 42-20, exactly 4 minutes left in the game. Jay, your overall impressions of Topsail? It's my first time seeing them this year. I think it's your first time seeing them up close and personal. What are your thoughts?
Well, they just kind of flipped the script, right? We came in expecting them to continue to run the ball as they have had success all year, and as you see on that particular play, nothing fancy, but just between the tackles football. And so tonight they continued to run the ball well, but to your point, Sam, pick some spots for those putting the ball in the air, and just about every time Hebron has been on the money with throws to the end zone. So a little bit of surprise, and not surprised at the outcome thus far, but surprised at the way Topsail got there.
Dr. Mike, I'm going to make a statement, and you tell me if it's fair or not.
Ooh.
Topsail doesn't do anything
that's
spectacular, but they do everything pretty well.
I feel like that's a generalization. What I would say they do spectacular, at least in the first, second, and fourth quarter, is just they do their job, right? Back to Bill Belichick, I know we mentioned him earlier, but just like do your job. And that's what they do very well. Little shaky third quarter, but you're not seeing missed assignments. You're not seeing too many silly penalties or anything like that. It's all just crisp and clean.
Oh, that ball's on the ground. I think.
And there you go.
Topsail got it back. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was Cook who came up with the loose ball that time.
Okay,
So
I was wondering why the big switch
possession.
in personnel. Sorry, Jay Bird. I was wondering why the teams were, kind of retreating to the sideline, but a timeout was called after the play by South Brunswick. So South wants to stop the clock before this 3rd and 11 play. With 2:08 left in the game, Topsail 42, South Brunswick 20. Cougars have one timeout left after calling that one, it appears.
Sam, I believe you told folks at home once, but maybe time to do it again. Where are we Friday next week?
West Brunswick, North at West. Do we have anything new on that New Hanover North Brunswick game?
New Hanover, they're in the fourth quarter. New Hanover with a convincing 41-16 lead.
Oh, boy.
North Brunswick lost to these same Topsail Pirates last week, so they'll be probably angry Scorpions on Friday night. And gosh, the Trojans, who are at Laney this evening and we're having an uphill climb, really want to turn their season around with a win here or there.
So Topsail has a 3rd and 11 and just keeps it on the ground up the middle. And the clock continues to roll, so Topsail won't have to snap this ball on 4th down until there's about a minute 25 left in the game. And looks like Topsail's just going to keep their offense on the field. Jay, this drive has been led by Caleb Holland, the junior backup quarterback, just for whatever that's worth. Hebron, well-deserved break here at the end of the night, wouldn't you say?
Very much so. Probably statistically, at least passing-wise, his best game of the year. That the pass in the corner of the end zone that was kind of disputed, the officials called it a touchdown, and it was close, as we saw on a couple of good instant replay looks. But the pass itself that Hebron threw was a great athletic throw. I mean, he's running left. He's throwing against his body. He somehow got himself set and delivered a catchable ball.
As he was being chased by pass rushers.
Yeah, and that was, probably 50 yards?
45, 50 in the area.
Yeah, so strong arm and accurate throw.
Jay, one of our volunteer coaches with the Shallotte Pirates, the little football team, is a young man by the name of Hunter French. Hunter played football here at South Brunswick, and I guess it would have been roughly 17 years ago. To the day, South Brunswick beat Topsail, and Hunter had 2 touchdown catches.
No kidding.
Against the Pirates. I said, man, oddly enough, you're sharing this, and South plays Topsail tonight. That's where I'll be. And that's
stretch.
He got it. He got it, and almost got taken away from him as he went to stretch it out. But Jay, that will pretty much do it there.
Yeah, they can probably just
that change in personnel there was the victory formation team coming on the field. Dr. Mike.
Yep.
I'm gonna toss it back to you one more time. Only got a few seconds left. Your impressions from tonight's action.
Honestly, this is one of the clean, again, I keep saying it, but one of the cleanest Topsail teams I've seen in the last couple of years. Very well disciplined, kept their composure most of the time, executed. Completely were able to forget about that first, like the very first play where they gave up a touchdown. And so, yeah, I'm very impressed. Big test next week for them, though.
And for South Brunswick moving forward, Jay, South has Ashley coming to town. Ashley and Hoggard, they're next two on the schedule. It does not get any easier for the Cougars.
No, you got to talk to the athletic director about that one, right? To schedule those monsters back to back toward the end of the season. But hey, look, South is a young team, a rebuilding team, and they've got some pieces there, and they just got to keep plugging away at it and get some experience. And one of these days, they're going to put it all together.
And it's officially a final from Bowling Spring Lakes for the entire FOCUS Broadband team. Jake Holmes, Sam Hickman. Wonderful job again by producer Nathan Evers. It's Topsail 42, South Brunswick 20. We'll be in Charlotte next week for North Brunswick at West Brunswick. But for tonight, it was the Topsail Pirates leaving on top. Topsail 42, South Brunswick 20. Thanks for joining us on your FOCUS Broadband Game of the Week.